Hello everyone, I am Rusha Mukherjee, a student of Shwendranath Law College and currently interning with Lex and Company. Today I am going to talk about the impossibility of performance and the frustration under the Indian Contract Act 1872. For that, first let us understand and let us deal with the fact that what is and what can be a contract. A contract is an agreement that is enforceable by law. For a valid contract, there has to be an offer and acceptance, has to be a valid consideration, and also it should not be free of cost, not an illegal object or an immoral object. The Indian Contract Act defines contract under Section 2H of the Indian Contract Act. It tells that a legal obligation is arising out of the agreement and it is obviously an agreement. The agreement has been defined in Section 2E of the Indian Contract Act as every promise and set of promises forming consideration for each other. We know that. We know only so in certain cases the contract can be valid even without a valid consideration. But the amount of consideration does not matter. Now, if we talk about it, we will get into our main topic, that is impossibility of performance and frustration. Section 56 of the Contract Act in its first paragraph declares an agreement to do an act impossible in itself is void. If we make a contract to educate a dead person, that is impossible, and hence the contract will also be void. For example, another we can give, A agrees with B to discover treasure by magic. This is actually void. The third paragraph to section 756 says, where one person has promised to do something which he knew with reasonable diligence might have known and which the promisee did not know to be impossible or unlawful, such promiser must make compensation to the promisee for any loss which such promises sustains to the non-performance of the promise. Illustration C apprehended to the section says that if A contracts to marry B, being already married to C, then being forbidden by law, to which he is subject to practice polygamy, A must take compensation to B for the loss caused to her for the non-performance of the promise. Now, sometimes it happens there is a supervening impossibility or illegality. Sometimes a contract is quite impossible to perform when it is made, but some event subsequently, that is after making the contract, happens which renders its performance impossible or unlawful. In such a case, the contract becomes void. The second paragraph of section 56 lays down that a contract to do an act which after the contract is made becomes impossible or by reason of some event which the promiser could not prevent becomes void when the act becomes impossible or unlawful. We can take an example for it. A contracts to act at a theatre for 6 months in consideration of a sum of money paid in advance by B. On several occasions, A is too ill to act. The contract to act on those occasions becomes void. That is illustration E to section 56. Section 65 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 deals with the obligations of persons who have received advantage under a void agreement or contract that becomes void. It says, when an agreement is discovered to be void or when a contract becomes void, any person who has received any advantage under such agreement or contract is bound to restore it or to make compensation for it to the person from whom he received it. It is illustration D to the section 65. A contract to sing for B at a concert for 1,000 rupees, which are paid in advance. A is too ill to sing. A is not bound to make compensation to B for the loss of profits which B would have made if A had been able to sing, but it must refund to B the 1,000 rupees paid in advance. Now I am talking about the doctrine of frustration. How does that happen? Frustration is applicable in two types of situations. First, where the performance is physically impossible, and second, where the object that the contract has failed, the very object has failed. The Supreme Court in India has held in Satyabrata Ghosh versus Magniram Bangur in Corporation AIR 1954 AC 44 that Section 56 will apply in both kinds of frustration. Specific grounds of supervening impossibility. The following grounds of supervening impossibility of frustration have become well established. Number 1, the destruction of the subject matter. Number 2, non-existence of a state of things necessary for performance. That is told in Krell versus Henry. Number 3 is the death or personal incapacity of the promiser. The fourth is the government or legislative intervention. The intervention of war. Now, there are certain cases that is not covered under the purview of supervening impossibility. That is self-induced frustration. In Bhutalinga Agencies versus VTC Puravishwari Nadir, we have seen about the self-induced impossibility. Difficulty of performance. Commercial unremunerative, the act of third person, the failure of one of the objects, strikes, lockouts and civil disturbances, and last but not the least, the leases. These are the places where the doctrine of supervening impossibility will not apply. These are the situations that is covered under section 56 and 65 where the contract becomes impossible and not possible to perform. And this is a very important part of the Indian Contract Act 1972. Thank you for watching my video. My next video will come very soon. See you till then. And till then, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.